In a world where pretty much everything we do is online, from our banking to our social lives, cybersecurity isn't just a topic for the tech experts anymore. Nope, it's become absolutely essential for all of us. So, what does it really take to stay safe out there in the digital world? Let's dive in.
Okay, let's kick things off with a number that really, and I mean really, puts this whole thing into perspective. $4.88 million. According to IBM, that's the average cost of a single data breach in 2024. Now you might think, well, that's a company problem, but that cost is all about lost customer data and massive recovery efforts. All of that. It eventually trickles down to us. It just goes to show the huge financial fallout from just one tiny security slip-up.
So, when we use the word cybersecurity, what are we actually talking about? Well, at its heart, it's basically the art of defending our digital spaces. It's all about protecting everything from your own personal laptop to these giant corporate networks from attacks that are designed to steal your information or just cause a whole lot of damage.
Now let's dig into why this has become such a massive issue. Because the cost, both financially and personally, that comes with these cyber threats, it's going up, and it's going up at a pretty alarming rate.
And you can see that trend perfectly right here. The cost isn't just high, it's climbing, and fast. That $4.88 million figure for 2024, that's a full 10% jump from what it was in 2023. As the attacks get smarter and we put more of our valuable data online, this problem is only getting more expensive.
But here's the thing, the cost isn't just about dollars and cents. Just look at the human side of this. In 2024 alone, the personal data of over 1.7 billion people was compromised. To put that into perspective, that's like 1 out of every 4 people on the entire planet having their private info exposed in just a single year. It's staggering.
And what kind of data are we talking about here? Well, it's the really sensitive stuff. We're talking personally identifiable information, or PII. Your social security number, your home address. It's your financial records, your private healthcare data, and even a company's secret business plans. This is the stuff that cybercriminals want the most, because it's worth a fortune on the black market.
So the big question is, how do these attackers actually get their hands on all this data? Let's break down some of the most common ways they do it.
The toolkit these criminals use is, well, pretty diverse, and it's always changing. You've got these broad threats like malware, that's just any software built to cause harm. Then you get more targeted stuff, like phishing. We've all seen those, right? The sneaky emails trying to trick you into giving up your password. Ransomware is especially nasty. It locks up all your files and demands money to get them back. And a huge one is credential theft, which is just stealing usernames and passwords. In fact, IBM points out that this is one of the top ways attackers get their foot in the door.
It all sounds pretty overwhelming, doesn't it? With so many different kinds of threats coming from every direction, where do you even begin to build a defense?
Well, the answer isn't to run around in a panic, it's to get organized. And that's exactly what the pros do. See, most of the world's top organizations don't just react to threats. They follow a strategic blueprint, a proven plan called the NIST Cybersecurity Framework. You can think of it as the industry's go-to playbook for managing cyber risk.
So let's take a closer look at this blueprint. It's really important to get this. The framework isn't some piece of software you just install and forget about. No, it's a guide, a whole strategy for how to think about and manage your cybersecurity the right way.
The big idea here is that this framework takes all the chaos of cybersecurity and neatly organizes it into 6 core functions. The best way to see it is as a continuous cycle. It's not about doing one thing and then you're done. It's about constantly managing risk through a structured process you can repeat over and over again.
All right, so let's walk through these 6 key functions. Think of them as the pillars that hold up any really strong cybersecurity program.
The whole cycle is just really logical. It all starts with govern. This is the big picture strategy, setting the rules of the game for the entire organization. Next up, you identify. You can't protect what you don't know you have, right? So this step is all about taking inventory of your systems and figuring out the risks. Then comes protect. This is where you actually put up your defenses, like firewalls and employee training. But of course, no defense is perfect, which leads us to detect. This is about having the right tools to spot an attack the moment it happens. Once you've found a threat, you have to respond, and fast, to contain the damage. And finally, recover. This is about getting everything back online and, just as importantly, learning from what happened so you're even stronger next time. See? It's a complete loop from start to finish.
Now, to make this a little less abstract, let's just zoom in on one of those functions, protect.
What does that actually look like in the real world? Well, it means doing simple but critical things, like making sure every single user has their own unique account and only giving them access to what they absolutely need. It means training people to spot those phishing emails we talked about. It's using encryption to scramble sensitive data so it's unreadable. And this one is so important, making regular backups so you can actually recover if the worst happens.
So, as we start to wrap this up, the big question really comes back to you and to your own digital life.
If there is one single thing to take away from all of this, it's this quote right here. You just can't buy one product off the shelf and call yourself secure. That's not how it works. Real, effective cybersecurity is a continuous process. It's about understanding the threats, putting protections in place, and constantly, always, adapting to what's next.
And that really just leaves us with one final crucial question. When you think about how much of our lives are now online and you see how sophisticated these threats have become, it is absolutely worth asking yourself, is my digital world truly protected?